When DJI announced the first Osmo Pocket last year, I instantly fell in love with it and promised to buy one. I thought I needed one for my travels and vlogging career and eventually proved that it's one of the best investments I've made in my life. Today, I've got the Osmo Pocket 2 and I bet some of you would ask me, why? It's practically the same. Is it though? You're about to find out in this video. I use my DJI Osmo Pocket in all of my recent trips before the pandemic. Germany, Switzerland, New York, California, and even Boracay. There's a lot of things about it that I genuinely love, but I always thought of it as quite lacking in terms of features, or as some of my fellow Filipinos would say, bitin. The microphones were subpar and it does not perform really well in low light scenarios. It deserved really nice upgrade, and this is where the new DJI Osmo Pocket comes in. It fills the gaps and holes that Osmo Pocket has, and it somehow beautifully perfected itself even at this time when traveling is not a priority. DJI Pocket 2 is like the theme of the song about the right person at the wrong time. However, this does not exactly mean that getting a DJI Pocket 2 is a bad investment right now. Every day is full of memories to consider documenting, and having a gimbal action camera is definitely a great way to keep your memories intact. Now, before I forget, I would like to say that this video is not sponsored by DJI. They did not pay us to say anything about the product, but they sent this unit for us to review. You know, it's interesting to know that DJI somehow dropped the whole name of DJI Osmo Pocket on its second iteration. DJI Pocket 2 is simply DJI Pocket 2, not DJI Osmo Pocket 2. I really don't know the reason behind this, but my take is that DJI wanted to be more simple with their naming convention. Now, this gimbal camera fits inside your pocket even when it's inside the case, hence the name DJI Pocket 2. Despite its size, it has monster specs that may dwarf smartphones with optical or electronic image stabilization. You've got here a camera with 1/1.7 inches sensor with an FOV of 93 degrees, better than the one on the Osmo Pocket. Surprisingly, this is a huge step up from the previous generation, which gives you a better view for landscape videos and photos and even selfies. As you can see in these videos, since the focal length of the new DJI Pocket is wider, you get a better view of our rooftop scene. The same goes with my selfie video. I didn't have to use my third-party wide-angle lens attachment on my DJI Pocket 2 to achieve all this. In terms of quality and aperture, the new DJI Pocket 2 proved itself with its f1.8 aperture and ability to take 64 megapixel photos. This makes it better in terms of taking photos and also videos in low light scenarios, something that I wanted to have on the first Osmo Pocket. Here are some sample photos using the DJI Pocket 2. At this point, you can already tell how good this gimbal action camera is in terms of taking videos. Since it has a better sensor and larger aperture size, it is able to take a larger amount of foreground and background blur, which then produces a shallow depth of field. So if you want to take cinematic videos with gimbal support, you will not go wrong with the DJI Pocket 2. As you can see right now, despite the scenario we're in, it is able to take video with good color precision and sharpness, which the first Osmo Pocket will have some difficulties in achieving. Speaking of taking videos, similar to the Osmo Pocket, DJI Pocket 2 can shoot up to 4K 60 FPS, now with HDR, which the first one does not have. If you want to shoot in HDR, you will have to enable high quality mode, which, when turned on, sucks more battery than usual but boosts the performance of the sensors to achieve the level of quality you want on your videos. Videos look great with this mode enabled and definitely brings out the best in Pocket 2. Unfortunately, since this camera uses the exact amount of battery juice compared to the first Pocket, don't expect this to stay up and running for more than 2 hours continuously, especially when you're shooting beyond Full HD 24 FPS. DJI, however, thought of this concern in the beginning, so just like the first Pocket, you can still use the device even when it's being charged via outlet or power bank. Now, what's the worth of a gimbal action camera if we're not going to talk about the DJI Pocket 2's gimbal? Similar to the first Pocket, Pocket 2 has a 3-axis gimbal but with better and controllable ranges. If you take a look at the chart, both the pan and tilt controllable and mechanical ranges have been improved to give users more control and fidelity with their shots. This gimbal specs adjustment is the reason why Pocket 2 is taller than the first one. What does this mean? As mentioned earlier, this brings better control and range in the various shooting modes that use the gimbal. One of the biggest improvements in DJI Pocket 2 is the ability to shoot 240 FPS slow motion at 1080p. This, in fact, has better slow motion capability than most Micro Four Thirds cameras in the market. This excited me a lot because this is my favorite feature on the first Pocket, and this upgrade is a huge treat for amateur filmmakers like myself. But how am I using this when I'm not traveling? Here's how. This shot is taken with the DJI Pocket 2 mounted on my motorized slider. It's impressive, and for someone who has been making videos about products, this is the closest I could get to using a pro-grade gimbal for bigger cameras. I only wish that DJI would consider updating the firmware so we can shoot 4K slow motion videos. Another thing that they have improved on the DJI Pocket 2 is autofocus. This is one of my major complaints with the first Osmo Pocket. At some point, I dreaded using it because its autofocus was really bad. Fortunately, they eventually fixed it via software patch, which renewed my interest on the first Pocket. This time, on the Pocket 2, the autofocus is better thanks to its hybrid AF 2.0, which makes autofocusing more precise and quick. Next is about its matrix stereo microphones. Unlike the first Pocket, Pocket 2 packs 4 microphones which captures all sides of the cameras. The camera intelligently switches to the closest microphone where the lens is pointed to. This again is a great upgrade, which warrants the fact that this is a significant upgrade from the first one. The difference between the two in terms of microphone quality is miles apart. However, if you really want to beef up the audio quality of Pocket 2, you may want to invest in a wireless microphone transmitter. This is a sample audio recording using the DJI Osmo Pocket 2. This is another sample recording using the DJI Osmo Pocket. DJI Pocket Camera is an impressive gimbal action camera that works best for consumers who want to keep their precious memories. I also highly recommend this to content creators who want to upgrade their arsenal of filmmaking equipment. Now, just in case you guys are interested, this is now available at DJI Store and authorized retail partners. This can also be bought at Lazada for 19,990 pesos. I've got links where you can buy them in the description. If you buy with those links, it will help us a lot to fund for more studio upgrades. Well, that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to watch more videos like this, I would appreciate if you can click the subscribe button and notification bell. This has been Gian of GadgetPilipinas.net. Thank you so much for watching, and catch you in the next one.